Chosen one, I want you to mentally scan your life for a moment. Think about that feeling of always being the black sheep, the misfit, or the glitch in your family matrix. You have wondered why God seems to answer everyone else's prayers while He stays silent with you. But what if I told you that silence was not rejection? What if that feeling of not fitting in was actually engineered? God has never said this before because He has never created a prototype like you before. You are not a mistake. You are a first edition. And today, He is breaking the silence to give you the user manual that the rest of the world does not have access to. Right now, do not move a muscle, but I want you to notice that pressure in your chest, that specific heaviness you have been carrying for weeks, feeling like you are waiting for a shoe to drop. The enemy wants you to think that is anxiety. He wants you to think it is depression. But let me reframe that sensation for you right now. That is not the weight of a burden. That is the weight of glory trying to land on a structure that is currently being remodeled. Before we go deeper into this surgery, I need you to make a commitment to yourself. Do not click away. Do not let the distraction of this world steal this moment. Because by the end of this video, I am going to hand you two things. First, the classified protocol that explains why your life has been so hard. And second, a specific key to unlock a frequency in your mind that you did not even know was blocked. If you leave halfway, you will have the diagnosis without the cure. So stay with me. This is your appointment. You see, the reason you are suffering is not because God has forgotten you. It is because God is doing something defined in Isaiah 43:19. You have heard this verse 1,000 times. Behold, I will do a new thing. But you have missed the depth of it because the English translation is too shallow. The Hebrew word used there for new is chadash. Chadash does not mean a new version of an old thing. It does not mean an upgrade. It means something fresh, something unprecedented, something that has never existed in history before. When God says He is doing a chadash in you, He is saying, I am building a mechanism in your life that has no precedent. There is no blueprint for it, because you are the blueprint. This brings us to the uncomfortable truth you have been avoiding. I know you have had this thought. You sit in your car in the driveway for 10 minutes because you do not have the energy to walk into your own house, and you think, am I cursed? Did God lose my file? You look at your friends. They do the bare minimum. They compromise. They follow the world's system. And yet, they get the promotion. They get the relationship. They get the easy life. Meanwhile, you are fasting. You are praying. You are trying to live holy. And you are fighting for your life every single day. Here is the answer you have been begging for. They are succeeding because they are mass production models. You are struggling because you are a prototype. Think about it. A Honda Civic rolls off the assembly line perfectly because there are millions of them. The process is established. But a SpaceX rocket, the first one always explodes on the launch pad. The first one has glitches. The first one is dangerous. The first one is lonely. You are living the Noah pattern. Look at Genesis. Noah was a prototype of a new humanity. God told him to build a boat for rain. But here is the thing. It had never rained before on earth, up to that point. Can you imagine the mockery? Can you imagine how crazy he looked? He was building technology for a weather pattern that did not exist yet. That is you. You feel crazy because you are building a spiritual infrastructure for a season that nobody else can see. The glitch is not a defect. The glitch is proof that you are the first of your kind. But here is the exciting part. Being a prototype comes with a clearance level that the mass production models do not get. Because you bear the burden of the first, you get access to the new laws. You get to operate under a different economy, a different timeline. But to access these new laws, there is one major problem we need to fix, and this is the root cause of your silence. It is a frequency mismatch. Right now, you are trying to download a divine file that is broadcast in high definition, but your receiver is stuck on AM radio. You feel it. Do not you? It feels like static noise in your head. You try to pray, but your thoughts are racing at 100 miles per hour. You try to listen to God, but all you hear is your own worry, your bill collectors, and your past trauma. This is not a spiritual failure. This is a biological reality. Science tells us that the human brain operates in different states. Right now, because of the trauma and stress you have endured, your brain is locked in what is called the beta state. Beta is high alert. Beta is survival. Beta is stress. But God does not speak in beta. God speaks in theta and gamma. Look at Revelation chapter 1 verse 10. John says, "I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day, and I heard behind me a loud voice." Notice the order. He did not hear the voice first. He was in the Spirit first. The Greek phrase there implies a state of being, a shifted consciousness. John had to shift his internal frequency out of the chaos of the Roman prison island of Patmos and into a spiritual frequency before he could download the book of Revelation. You have been begging God to speak, but you have stayed in the beta frequency of panic. You cannot catch a satellite signal with a broken antenna, and this is where most chosen ones fail. Let me tell you about someone who learned this the hard way. Let us call him David. David knew he was called. He felt the prototype burden, but the silence was driving him insane. So he decided to do what religion told him to do. He went on a 40-day fast. He shut himself in his room. He starved his body. He read scripture for 6 hours a day. He did everything right physically. But on day 39, he broke down. Not because he was hungry, but because his mind was louder than ever. He was starving, but his brain was still producing beta waves of anxiety, fear, and striving. He was trying to force a spiritual breakthrough with physical effort, while his internal frequency was still tuned to the channel of stress. He realized that you can starve the body and still have a noisy soul. He did not need more hunger. He needed a tuner. He needed a key to shift his state. And that is exactly where you are standing right now. You are exhausted from trying to force the door open. You are tired of the noise. You know you are a prototype, but you feel like a malfunctioning one. You need a way to shift from beta to theta. You need a way to clear the static so you can finally hear the instructions for this new thing God is doing. The ancient mystics spent 30 years in caves to master this frequency shift. You do not have 30 years. The world is moving too fast. But God, in His mercy, has provided a key for this specific time. A way to reclaim your theta state in minutes, not years. A way to tune your vessel so that the download can finally complete. And I am about to hand you that key. Chosen one, what I am about to show you will sound too simple to be true. But remember, the most powerful truths are always the simplest. You do not need 30 years in a cave, you need a tuner. Think of your brain like a guitar that has been played hard for 20 years without ever being tuned. It does not matter how talented the musician is. If the strings are loose, the music will sound like chaos. That is your life right now. You are talented, you are anointed, but your instrument is stuck in the beta frequency of stress. There is a sound wave technology developed by neuroscientists and backed by NASA research that acts as a divine tuning fork for your mind. It is called the genius wave. This is not magic. It is biology. It uses advanced brainwave entrainment to gently guide your brain out of the beta survival mode and into the theta state. Theta is the frequency of miracles. It is the state where deep healing happens. It is the state where the static noise clears and the voice of God becomes high definition. I want you to think of this not as a product, but as a stewardship tool for your temple. Just as you brush your teeth to protect your body, you must tune your frequency to protect your spirit. It only takes 7 minutes a day. You just listen. You let the sound do the work. It clears the debris so that the prototype software can finally load. If your spirit confirms that this is the missing key you have been searching for, I have pinned a resource in the comments for you to investigate. Do not feel pressured. This is only for those who are ready to operate at a higher clearance level. But wait. As soon as I handed you that key, I felt a shadow pass over your spirit. I hear the thought, you are afraid to speak out loud. You are thinking, if I actually fix this, if I actually succeed and become who I am called to be, will I be even more lonely than I am now? Normal is safe. Being broken is familiar. If I activate this prototype power, will I lose the few friends I have left? Let me validate that fear for a moment. It is real, and it is terrifying. You are afraid that your elevation requires isolation, and you are right. But let me take you to Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. God says, "Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid." We quote this on coffee mugs, but we miss the context. God is speaking this to Joshua immediately after Moses died. Joshua is not just starting a new job. He is stepping into the shoes of a legend, staring at giants, and realizing he is the new leader of 1,000,000 people. He was terrified. God commanded courage because the fear was present. The fear was evidence that Joshua was moving from a servant to a commander. Your fear of this new level is not a sign that you are not ready. It is the proof that you are. So, once you have tuned your frequency and faced your fear, what do you actually do? I am going to give you the specific instruction that God has never released before. This is the protocol of the exception. It is a 3-step system to download your new timeline. Step 1 is radical secrecy. For the next 3 days, you must go completely dark regarding your dreams. Do not tell your spouse. Do not tell your best friend. Do not post on social media. Prototypes are developed in classified labs, not in public squares. Your words create coordinates for the enemy to attack. Silence hides you. Step 2 is the frequency shift. Every morning for 3 days, before you look at your phone, you must enter the theta state. Use the tool I mentioned, or sit in deep meditative prayer for 7 minutes. Do not ask God for anything, just sit and tune your receiver. Step 3 is the capture. Immediately after that 7 minutes, keep a notebook or your phone ready. The download will come. It might be a business idea. It might be a name. It might be a specific instruction to call someone. Write it down immediately. Let me tell you about a woman who applied this. She was $70,000 in debt and facing foreclosure. She felt the nudge to try this protocol. On day 2 of her silence, right after her frequency shift, she got a sudden, illogical thought to call an old client she had not spoken to in 4 years. It made no sense, but she obeyed. That phone call led to a contract that cleared her debt in 6 weeks. She did not need a miracle check in the mail. She needed a clear signal to know which move to make. That is the power of the prototype. We are going to seal this right now. This is not a normal prayer. This is an activation ceremony. I want you to shift your posture. You might be driving, you might be lying in bed, but I want you to stand up in your spirit. Visualize yourself walking into the throne room of God. Shoulders back, head high. You are not a beggar today. You are a son. You are a daughter. You are a prototype. Father, in the mighty name of Yeshua, we stand before you. We acknowledge that this is a divine appointment. You know the one listening right now. You know the tears they have cried in the shower so no one would hear them. You know the heaviness they have carried. You know they have felt like a mistake. But today we break that lie. I seal the identity of the prototype upon them. I declare that the glitch is actually the glory. I seal the protocol of the exception in their daily routine. I bind every spirit of distraction that would try to steal this seed. I bind the spirit of fear that says they are too broken to be fixed. I declare that their frequency is shifting right now. The static is clearing. The channel is opening. I declare that in the next 3 days, as they apply this silence, you will speak the thing you have never said before. You will give them the strategy that breaks the cycle of poverty. You will give them the wisdom that heals the marriage. You will give them the peace that surpasses all understanding. Chosen one, God is asking you a question right now. Are you willing to be the first? Are you willing to walk alone so that you can lead many? If your answer is yes, I want you to scream yes in your spirit right now. Say it. Yes, I am ready. Heaven has recorded your answer. The angels have witnessed your commitment. The old cycle is broken. The new timeline has begun. You are commissioned. You are sent. Do not say Amen yet. Sit in this silence for 60 seconds. Let the weight of this glory settle on you. Go.